How long will Labour's honeymoon with the UK electorate last? It's very clear from opinion polls that right now Keir Starmer and his cohort are running high in people's opinion. But will that last once they get into office? I've been talking to quite a wide variety of people, and to be candid, no one who has much experience of the UK political scene thinks that Keir Starmer is going to be everyone's favourite by early 2025. Why is that? Well, Rachel Reeves is going to deliver a budget in September 2024, we're pretty sure, a couple of months after she gets into office, and it's going to be deeply uninspiring. Is she going to be offering more money for the NHS? Probably not. Is she going to offer the funds to solve the junior doctors' pay dispute, which they've reasonably been pursuing because their pay has been devalued over such a long period of time? No, she's probably not. Is she going to give money to resolve the problems in education? No. She's probably not. I could keep going. The point is that everyone's going to suddenly realise that because Rachel Reeves is saying she will raise no new money and she has to follow the same fiscal rule that Jeremy Hunt did, she's going to deliver a programme which is basically identical to everything that the Tories have done. And I call that austerity. Other people call that austerity. And I think you'll call that austerity. And that's absolutely the last thing that this country needs. And yet that's what Labour's going to do. So what happens when, I think by next January, give it that long, people are suddenly looking at Labour and saying, this party is going to make no difference to my life, despite the fact we've just given them a whacking great majority, or even a moderate majority. They're going to be deeply, deeply disenchanted with what Keir Starmer is doing. And the backlash will be significant at two levels. One of those levels will be amongst the general public. That's you and that's me. We're going to say, this isn't what we signed up for, even if we did vote for Labour. And that's going to mean that other political parties are going to be coming back into the scene big time. And we don't know who that will be, because frankly, most of those other political parties, most especially the Tories, are still going to be in a mighty mess as a consequence of what's going to happen in the general election. The other thing that's going to happen is that a very large number of Labour backbench MPs are going to be very annoyed with their party leadership. Remember that a great many MPs who are going to be elected for Labour this time will never make it to ministerial office. Around 120 MPs on average are ministers at cabinet level or below cabinet level, or are parliamentary private secretaries or whatever else at any point of time. Suppose Labour gets 450 MPs. That's going to leave them well over 300 sitting around on the back benches, who will wonder whether they'll ever get ministerial office and ever have a chance to affect political change. And because so many of them will be quite sure that's never going to happen, they're going to begin to cause trouble. That happened, of course, with the Tories last time. We've seen the problem with Conservative leaders managing their backbenchers over recent years. Well, we're going to see that happening with Labour as well. So at two levels, Labour is going to be in deep political trouble fairly soon into the life of this new Parliament. Unless, and that's a very big unless, some change happens. What's that change going to be? Keir Starmer is going to have to realise that if he's going to make a second term in office, he cannot afford a collapse in his popularity very early in this term in office, or his days will literally be numbered from 2025 onwards. He'll be a lame duck from the start. The only change he can make is to say to Rachel Reeves, sorry, you're not a good Chancellor. You've got to go. We need somebody who understands that Labour has to deliver for the people of this country, or it is nothing at all. That's what Labour has to do, or its honeymoon is going to be incredibly short.